Greetings YouTube, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a mystery tour on a tool. This is a tool that my grandfather had. It is a barrel wrench. This is a tool for opening up the top of a barrel. A 55-gallon drum has a small spigot on top. That's how you actually pour the material out. You hook a hose to it and pour it out, or you put a valve on it if you're going to put it on a horizontal stand, so you then pour out. This is what removes the cap that is in that plug before you can use it for dispensing. Okay, so that's what this is designed for. This, however, is a homemade version of it. I don't know what the original tool had. Maybe the original tool handle broke off, and so someone, my grandfather or someone else, did this. He was a machinist mate in World War II on a troop carrier. I don't know if this goes back to World War II or not. It could, because 55-gallon drums were in use, and they did have this type of top. So this could be from that era, and I'm not positive. My grandfather and I never really talked tool, which is a pity, because I did not come to learn about my fascination for tools and for making and for crafting till long after he was gone. Now, interesting, besides being a handmade tool, it's got names brazed into it with a welder. It says Richard Victoria and George Laurie. I have no idea who either of these gentlemen are. None whatsoever. Nor why this wrench was with my grandfather's tools when I got his toolbox after he passed. So I don't know anything about this. This is an absolute mystery. I do know that it was beat to all heck. There is a lot of abuse on this tool. So whoever used it a lot, and they used it vigorously, and they built it for durability, because I can guarantee you the original wrench probably didn't look like this. This is just a piece of bar stock, but it's a big, beefy piece of bar stock. You go trying to buy a piece of bar stock like that today, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. That's not a cheap. But on the other hand, someone drilled the hole properly and they chamfered both edges. So I mean, it's not perfect. It's obviously done by someone who is not a professional, because you can see that there's a bit of a waver in there that was done because they got a little bit of a chatter when they were doing that. And I've seen that myself, because I've done it myself. When you don't have a milling machine, it's difficult sometimes to get things to be as perfect as you'd like them to be if you're only working with a drill press or with hand tools. Now, maybe they didn't have access to a milling machine at this point in their career. Who knows when this was made or why it was made. I mean, why it was made, yeah. But why does it have Richard Victoria and George Laurie's name on here? I don't know who these gents are. My grandfather never really talked about his service in the war. I mean, he was on a ship, and I don't believe he ever saw any direct action. He was a troop carrier, and he was in Nagasaki 6 weeks after they dropped the bomb, which is a bit of a historical note. But and I have a comic book that he brought back from the war that he gave to my father, then I got from my father. Can't read it. It's in Japanese, but it actually survived the bombing of Nagasaki, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, just a mystery here, folks. Just a mystery, but it fascinates me. It makes me smile. The idea that this moved from quite possibly World War II through my grandfather's hands to his home in Pennsylvania, and then eventually to mine in New Hampshire. And I don't need this barrel wrench. I actually have a better barrel wrench in my collection, which I cherish, but I'm not going to get rid of this, obviously. This is my grandfather's tool. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to now that I have a tool wall, I have a tool wall right here, I'm going to put an S-hook in here, and I'm going to hang this up. And if I never use it, I never use it. And I'm okay with that. The possibility of me ever needing to open the top of a bung hole on a 55-gallon drum is vanishingly small. But if I ever need to, I can, and I can do it with a tool that's got some history, that's got a story behind it. I just really wish I knew what that story was.